Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. Buckle up. Get ready for takeoff. Today, we're flying to the territory of Labor Shortage 2025. So, today I'm inspired to talk about this topic. I've talked about this many times throughout since the pandemic. And it changes each year. So I thought I'd do an updated version of the labor shortage. What inspired it today was the power outages in Springfield, Missouri. So if you're living in the Ozarks and there was a tornado that ripped through Springfield, Missouri, and many people are still without power. Should hold the microphone a little further away, but yeah, that's all right. I got a stand. I could just stick it on the stand and but I like holding it. There's something unique about that, right? So, anyway, there are many still without power in Springfield, Missouri. So, I thought we'd discuss why, and some people are saying, why can't my power get restored? Why aren't people showing up for work? Why can't city utilities get it done faster? Let's talk about that. All right, so city utilities has probably got their hands full because we have a labor shortage in blue-collar work. Yeah, blue-collar. In other words, there's not enough electricians to do the work. I'm talked to my Bing co-pilot. I got my co-pilot with me to bring up specific information. And to be honest with you, the situation's going to get worse. I say they've been 12 hours without power. Where's my power? I say even if you don't live in Springfield, Missouri, let's say wherever you're at in the United States, you need something repaired. I know of a restaurant that had to close its doors because they couldn't find a plumber. True story. Because every plumber they called was 2 and 3 months out and said, no, we need a plumber today. Can't get there today. It'll be 3 months before we can see you. I don't have 3 months. Because there's a labor shortage in skilled work. Now, restoring electric power is very specific. And it takes a person with a special skill set to do that kind of work. It's true. And so that's why you're not... Let's say in Springfield, Missouri, we have 150,000 people living in the city, right? What if there's only 50 or 60 linemen? That's it. City utilities. How many people in Springfield, Missouri have that skill that are on duty right now, not retired, that can go out there and do that kind of work, who have that special skill set to restore the electric lines, the power lines? That's a very specific skill. What if there's only 50 of them still working? That means instead of taking 3 hours to fix it, it could take a couple of days. Why? We don't have enough linemen. So what do? They call linemen from other power companies from around the area. That's what they do. That's how they do it. So we need to pull them from Joplin, from Marshfield, from as far away as Kansas City, St. Louis. They'll get the call. They'll call people who are retired, say, hey, I'm retired. I can't do this anymore. They'll get a phone call. I know somebody this happened to. This happened to him. He's retired, and he still gets phone calls to go out and help repair. I said, look, I don't do this anymore. But they need him. They're so desperate because there's not enough workers trained in that skill set. So what's causing this labor shortage? Why are there not enough electricians? It's not just electricians, but if you talk to Mike Rowe, if you go to his website, so now they're saying Gen Z is trying to go into blue collar, but they're still disenfranchised. They're still not motivated. So, what's causing the labor shortage? Now, some of the causes I'm going to tell you today. You can look up every one of them. Number one on my list of why you can't find workers. Why? Especially skilled workers. Now, fixing electric lines in Springfield is very specific. So why can't we find workers? Well, number one on the list, like I said, guess what? It's low birth rates. So we have all these people retiring, right? Most of your utility workers, the linemen, or even in construction, they're all in their 50s. And they're retiring every day. There's not enough young people going into that field to replace them. So what happens is you may have 5 guys retiring, but only 1 guy to replace those 5 guys. Now what have you got? Not enough workers. We've not been having enough babies. Abortion may be part of it. That's 70 million babies. 70 million babies that, well, they're not buying smartphones. They're not restoring your electric power either. Those babies are gone. Oh, sorry, your power's been out for the last couple of days. There's no one to fix the power lines. Why? They haven't been born. We aborted them. So you have to live without power. Oh, I need my power line. I need my quarter pounder. Let's focus on the power line. There's something you need right now. I have to have power to keep my business open. Sorry, no power. Sorry, we can't restore it. There's no one available to work. They need to get off welfare. Okay, yeah, the welfare state's part of the problem. But low birth rate, you can look this up. Google search it. Do your homework. It's a real thing. People are not having babies. Number 2 on the list. You can look this up. You can go to your local grocery store if you don't believe me. Our health crisis. America's obesity epidemic. Not just obesity, but health crisis in general. We're not even healthy enough to go to work. Yeah. Take a look around. Next time you go to the grocery store, take a look around. How many people are morbidly obese? Or how many people do you know are on medications for various things? Got allergies to this and this and that. It's not just obesity, but it's our health in general. We're not even healthy enough to go to work, to be a lineman. So that's number 2 on the list, our health crisis. Who do you know is not on medication? That's even a better question. Who do you know is not taking meds? That's healthy, educated, have that skill. Throwing that out there. Number 3 on the list, social media. Our phones. Kids are on TikTok. They're on whatever platform they're on. I'd rather be a TikToker or content creator than put up a power line and restore your electric power. Somebody else would do it. George will do it. There is no George. So social media as a whole, social media in and of itself, is also contributing to the labor shortage, especially in the skilled areas. That's where we feel the most pain, when the power goes out, wherever you may be living. So this message is not just the people of the Ozarks, especially in Springfield, but anywhere you may be in the United States. We don't have enough skilled workers to repair, to build houses, restore power, fix your plumbing. I know another restaurant that went out of business because he couldn't find a repairman to fix his walk-in cooler. Now, if you own a restaurant, that walk-in cooler is priority. Without it, you're dead. Let alone get a part for your walk-in cooler. When you call various companies and they can't send anybody out for days or weeks because there's a labor shortage in the blue-collar skill set. And what's ironic is when it comes to blue-collar, That is the most AI safe job you can get, because the chances of AI taking your job are slim. We are years away from building a commander data type of android to take your job building a house, or to be able to function enough to restore the power lines or fix your plumbing. We are way off on that. So it is the most AI safe, at least for the next 20 or 30 years probably. You won't have to worry about anyone coming after your job. You're going to be in high demand. So yes, social media is causing a labor shortage, but we feel it the most in skilled work that we need done. Houses we need built. We don't have affordable housing because we can't build houses. We have the supply and demand issue. The fourth cause of the labor shortage, I have to move this video along, and you can look this up, is disenfranchised men. You got the family courts. So a man may get up and say, why should I go to work? My ex is going to take half my paycheck on child support and alimony. I can't even see my kid, and she'll move 100 miles away. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't travel 100 miles to see your kid? So men feel disenfranchised. I have no incentive to get up and go to work. See, men have to have an incentive to work. You take away, and they'd rather not. I'll just live on, SSI, SSD, whatever. I'll collect my disability. At least I can get my Medicaid, Medicare, health insurance. And that's the big reason why they do it, especially in the trades. Tradesmen, it's hard on your body, so they can't do it much past their 50s. So the guy may say, screw this. I'm not going to work. We need you to come out and fix the power lines. Springfield, Missouri is without power. No, I'm not going to come out and fix your power lines. Nah, not interested. But without power, it could be out for days. Huh? And this is what's happening, folks. This is why you can't get your power restored in the time you'd like. People just magically expect their power to get restored. It's not just power outage, but just things in general. I can't get my walk-in cooler fixed in the time I need it fixed because we can't get enough trained, skilled workers to do it. There's nobody to come out and do it. There's not enough of them. Get all these restaurants, but not enough people with that skill set to fix your walk-in cooler that you have to keep your restaurant open. You have to have that. But there's nobody with that skill set. I was at work one day, and I told my boss, because I can tell you where I work, but I informed him, said, you need to take a look around at your repairman. I noticed the guy fixing his equipment was in his 50s, almost 60. The guy on the roof, same. We have another guy, Antonio, he comes in. He does various repair stuff in his 50s. Every person he had doing work, repair work of some kind, roofing, plumbing, restaurant equipment, all of these men, every one of them were in their 50s. I told him, are you paying attention to the demographics of the... because what's going to happen when one of these guys is gone? Who's going to replace them? And so this is a real crisis we're having in America. Real crisis. I say that because it's true. You can look this up. So we have disenfranchised men. That's number 4. Like I said, number 3 on the list is social media. Everybody wants to be a content creator, especially Gen Z, and especially going to be Gen Alpha coming up. Millennials. There's a lot of YouTubers who are millennials. Not many Gen Xers. I'm a Gen X. I'm 58. I'm still trying to catch up with these kids. I do things a little differently because I'm of another generation. So we have... And the problem with being a content creator, let's go back to being a content creator. You can look this up. what percentage of content creators, especially on YouTube, make $1,000 a month or more? Only 4%. So you better be thinking of doing something else, because even I don't hardly make any money. I don't make a lot of money because I don't have big boobs and blonde hair. Yeah. So, again, disenfranchised men, social media, health crisis, low birth rate. These things are contributing to the labor shortage. What else is contributing to the labor shortage? Well, you've got a few other factors that have always been there, like the welfare state. That's part of it. So let's get back to what kind of skill set do you need to have to be a lineman? When the power goes out, it's bad enough our electric grid is ancient. Why do we still have power lines? Why haven't we gone wireless yet? This technology exists. Why hasn't our power company gone wireless? If they go wireless, this is less likely to happen. You don't have to send somebody out to fix a power line. There are no power lines. It's wireless. This technology exists, but we don't use it. We live in the dark ages. We think we're so evolved, and yet now this is why. So let's go back. I asked ChatGPT. Well, not I have my Bing Copilot. I also have ChatGPT. I do use AI on some level. I says, Springfield, Missouri is without power. Steel Utilities is working to restore power as quickly as possible. What kind of schooling and training does a person need to repair the power lines? You wonder why there's a labor shortage. You have a power outage in whatever city you're in, not just but anything in general. Okay, power line repair, this is its answer, is a specialized and essential job that requires both technical knowledge and physical skill. You can look this up, but I'm gonna give it to you because you're probably not gonna look it up. So I'm just gonna have to bear with me. I'm gonna read this to you as it's telling me. Job requires both technical knowledge and physical skill. To become an electrical power line installer and repairer, a person typically follows these steps. Education, number 1. Most employers require at least a high school diploma or GED. It requires a lot more than that. Some aspiring line workers pursue an associate degree or a bachelor's degree in electrical systems technology. This is a special skill set to gain deeper understanding of power distribution. Vocational training. Now, many lineman schools offer specialized training programs that teach climbing techniques, electrical safety, and equipment handling. Schools like Southeast Lineman Training Center and Northwest Line JATC provide hands-on field training. But I think to be an electrician and lineman, you do need specific skills. But it's telling me, apprenticeship. Many line workers start off as apprentices working under experienced professionals to gain real-world experience. Apprenticeships typically last 3 to 4 years and include both classroom instruction and on-the-job. Okay, there are approximately 125,000 electrical power line installers and repairers in the United States. The average age in this field is 39.3 years old, about 40 years old. The average age right now, according to my co-pilot. So, again, and I think as far as I know, I had someone else tell me that they do require a little more than a high school diploma. You really will have to have an engineering. It's usually the engineers that send the linemen out. You still need them, But they can be replaced by AI. But your linemen that actually go down, do the physical work, again, we're not getting a lot of guys willing to do that. I'm almost 60. I don't think I'm still capable. I could go out and do that. But, I'm a liability. I'm old. You could be a liability at any age, but I'm healthy. That's my advantage. But, yeah. So, again, some areas require them to be real engineers. I said, well, you got to be journeyman or whatever. It's like, it depends on who you work for. It depends on your employer. Some of them are very stringent, and they require a real engineering degree to go out and do that. Well, how many young men are going out to get an engineering degree? I mean, just to be a lineman, according to this, you just need a GED. But it requires still special training. And you're still going to have a special skill set. More than just climbing poles. There's an educational algebra, trigonometry, math skills you're going to have when dealing with the electric lines and dealing with electricity and power grids. Still, you have to have a certain skill set to perform that task. So, labor shortage 2025. So, again, we just laid out the skill sets you need to be a lineman. How come I can't get my power turned back? It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse, folks. A lot worse. Instead of being out for 12 hours, you could be out 12 days. Why? There's no one showing up for work. Can't find any linemen. No one's willing to go out and do that job. So you have to live without power for 12 days. Instead of 12 hours. 12 days without power. Sorry. We don't have any workers. It's kind of like idiocracy, right? Or Wall-E. We're becoming a society that don't know how to do anything. I met a grown man who couldn't change a light bulb. True story. So that's it in a nutshell, folks. Labor shortage 2025. And why you can't hire people. Why you can't find workers. Especially skilled workers that are AI proof. These jobs, AI is not going to take. But humans don't want to take those jobs either. You can't just depend on illegal immigrants because some of these jobs require a specific skill and serious training. Serious knowledge of mathematics, trigonometry. How many illegal immigrants are good at calculus or trig? You think any of them crossing the border are good at that? A few might be. 1 in 1,000, if you're lucky, has some kind of scientific or engineering background. So, you have to wonder, And so, you go to Mike Rowe, look him up on the internet, on YouTube. He talks about this all the time. There's no shortage of McDonald's employees. But even they have trouble getting people hired. I heard the nursing homes are having serious... Well, who wants to change a bedpan? I don't want to work in a nursing home changing someone's bedpan, giving somebody a bath, cleaning up shit on the floor. I'd rather be a Whopper flopper for the same wages, if not $1 more an hour. What would you rather do? Change bedpans or be a Whopper flopper? I'll choose Whopper flopper. I don't care. I don't care. Serious, nursing homes don't pay anything. Wonder why we can't get nurses' aides. Can't get anybody. They tell their families, well, there's not enough employees. You have to take your mom or your dad back home with you. We have no room. We can't. Sorry, don't have any employees to take care of them. Sorry, you got to take care of them. Well, we can't. Well, that's too bad. So if you've got a loved one, you're hoping to put them in a nursing home, Sorry, you got to take care of them yourself. Well, we can't. That's too bad. There's no employees showing up for work there either. It's because they don't want to pay anything. Why should they work and go to McDonald's and make more? Target. Bucky's over here is paying $17 an hour starting wage. Our nurses' aides over here make $14, $15 an hour. $15 an hour, $17 an hour at Bucky's. I'll go to Bucky's. Unless you're on bathroom detail, but still, compared to the nursing home, still, no comparison. I'd rather stock shelves at Bucky's than clean up somebody's shit on the floor in a nursing home. Oh, yeah, that's terrible. But this is it for the labor shortage 2025. So you can look all this up yourself. Double check my facts. Look up low birth rate, America's health crisis, whether it's not just obesity, but our other health complications going on too, like diabetes, which is caused by obesity, but food allergies and all this other stuff. Social media, everybody wants to be a content creator. That's a real thing, by the way. But only a select few actually make money. You can look that up too. 96% of content creators don't make it. They don't make any money. I don't care what platform it is. So the success rate is very small. The failure rate is very large. Well, that's it, my take on the labor shortage 2025. Why can't I find workers? Now you're thinking this contradicts. There's a job shortage. We're going to talk about that maybe in another video. What I think is going on there is you're not physically going to that job, are you? You're going online, doing it the lazy way. What they're doing, and say, I've applied at 1,000. How can you apply at 1,000 places? I'm thinking to myself, how can this be? It's because they're doing it online. They create one resume and they send it to 1,000 companies. See, I applied at 1,000 jobs, but you didn't go there. You didn't speak to anybody. You didn't network with anybody. You wonder why you don't get a response back. This is why. That's my theory on what's going on. It's not that there's a job shortage. Jobs are plentiful, but AI is quickly gobbling up those jobs. But the blue-collar work, the guy digging the trenches, the guy putting on your roof, installing your electricity in your house, installing your plumbing, those jobs are going to be in high demand. And AI is years away from taking those jobs. Decades away. I mean, I do see some of the robots. I see lifting boxes and stuff. But to mass produce them at a cost-efficient rate, to get them where we need to be, that's not going to happen anytime soon. So, AI will go after paralegals, go after nursing jobs, school teachers. You don't want to be a school teacher. Oh my God, I've talked to how many people. I'm going to be an elementary school teacher. No, you don't. AI, that'll be one of the first jobs that it's going to go after. We have to have human teachers. No, we don't. Not with a low birth rate. We need fewer and fewer teachers. Not only that, but AI is replacing those jobs. With online learning, you got sue-happy parents, helicopter parents always suing the schools. You gave Johnny a C, you're fired. Your career is done. But I have $100,000 in student loans. Sorry, your career is finished. The helicopter parents sued you for giving Johnny a C. Your career is over. You'll never teach again anywhere. You're blacklisted. No school district's going to hire you. This is a true thing. Ah, man. My eyes are just watery. I'm not sad or anything. It's just I got watery eyes. Oh, man. Anyway, this video is already 30 minutes long. It's time to cut it off. I said what I had to say. why you can't find workers. Why can't I get my walk-in cooler repaired? Why can't get, especially in Springfield, Missouri? This goes to anywhere in the country. How come my power can't get restored? We magically expect our power to come back on. We magically expect linemen to be out there fixing the power lines. We magically expect a plumber to fix our plumbing. We magically expect a walk-in cooler, a company, to send a repairman out and get it fixed that day. That's not how things work anymore. It's not. And you need to realize this. We're having a labor shortage in skilled workers, especially the skilled work. You want to have a job in the future? You're Gen Z, Gen Alpha? Go to the trades. AI is a long way from going after those jobs, and they are going to be making the most money. Those are hard jobs. Yeah, they're hard. They're not easy. They're not. Just thought I'd give you a heads up. Why we can't get our power turned back on like we want. I went to McDonald's, had to wait 10 minutes to get a quarter pounder. Why? Not enough workers. Well, I can't imagine there not being enough workers at McDonald's. But I'm talking about skilled workers specifically that we so badly need. People with actual skills that know how to do things. Good luck getting your car fixed. It takes special technicians just to do that anymore. It's that way with anything. But we have plenty of Whopper floppers. Plenty of unskilled workers willing to make a Whopper. The labor shortage is more specifically is in skills. People with actual skills. Well, that's it for this video. Otherwise, I'm starting to repeat myself up to 32 minutes already. You know what I like to say, right? It's hard to say au revoir, so au gratin. You know what this means, right? You know what I'm getting ready to do, right? Everybody knows. I'm going for that button. I'm going for that button. I'm going after it right now. Here I go. It's really good, I promise you.